Hello, everyone, and welcome to the last panel. It's the end of the week, and now it's time for your favorite ranking show. And this week, we are going to be doing top 5 box office flops that we love, which is a very interesting topic. It was one that I was kind of taken back by how difficult it was to kind of figure out my list this time around, and also, too, with the way things are changing in the scope of cinema. It's kind of hard to define what a box office flop is, as it's not as easy as it was like in the 90s. So this is going to be an interesting, fun list. And let me introduce myself. My name is Lunchbox Warren. I am the writer, artist, and creator of the Adventures of Sig and Joe, the comic on Global Comics. And with me is my astounding, friendly, awesome, amazing panel of friends. First off, we have the one and only, the reviewer of reviewers, Bob Loves Movies, or Bob Smovius. How are you doing today, Bob?
Bob is obvious.
No, man, it's good to be here tonight. I got to see both Scary Movie and Masters of the Universe last night. I got some thoughts on both of those. What's that?
Were you disappointed by both?
I liked Masters of the Universe. I had a good time with that one. I mean, I have a few thoughts on it, but as a whole, I was entertained by it, and I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10. I enjoyed it. Scary Movie, I was more disappointed in. There were some funny parts, but I would give it a 5 out of 10. I've
heard more positive stuff about Masters of the Universe than I have about Scary Movie 6. It's just not getting received well critically or audience wise, it seems like. But
don't tell that to the red pill reviewers, and you know exactly who I'm talking about.
Oh,
Masters of the Universe is fucking stupid. Oh God, it's ruining the world. The world's so much worse because that movie exists.
I don't know. Some of them, I was actually looking at what some of the red pill reviewers are saying, and they actually seem to like it. A good portion of them.
I saw so many.
It seems to be a movie that's splitting the reviewers down the middle. Like you see some reviewers, it's almost like they're watching different movies. The way they talk about it, it's really interesting.
I think it depends on what you hope for. If you wanted something a little more serious, then you're not going to get it. If you're wanting just something that's a love letter to the original cartoon, then I think you're going to enjoy it. I had a good time with it. Wasn't quite exactly what I hoped for, but I had a good time.
Hey, what's up, Nightmare?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Nightmare.
And next up on the introductions is right below him as we have the one and only, the master of Batman knowledge himself, Laps Comics Fan. How are you doing today, Laps?
I am great. I'm good. I'm good, man. Getting burned out at work, let me tell you.
I can imagine.
Lord.
You want 5 more months of this and you'll be good?
Well, the end of September.
Okay, all right.
So 4 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just it sucks because usually there's a ramp up, you could see it coming. I was going from handling 80 shipment contracts, and then literally on Monday I generated my list, and it was 337.
Oh wow!
And those are
more than 80.
Those are daily. That's I sat there for 14 hours, and I'm still getting people, my workers emailing me these questions, and I've read some of them to Gray, and I'm very frustrated sometimes whenever I try to address them. But yeah. What's up, Nightmare Nerdscapes? How you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing good on this.
And last but certainly not least, the one and only Gray Poupée. How are you doing this week, sir?
Hey, man, I'm doing great. I'm excited to be here talking about a list that it was really hard for me to actually just narrow down. So I'm excited to hear what you guys have on this one. But I think this is maybe the most difficult one for me. I think if you ask me the same thing tomorrow, list completely different. So
I've made 5 different lists so far getting ready for this one. And yeah, I feel the same way. It's you ask me tomorrow and I would switch some stuff around. Now, normally we ask the question when did you first experience this along those lines? With this one, I thought it was a little bit different, but I guess what I was going to ask you guys, starting with Bob, when was the first time that you actually kind of recognized the concept of a box office flop. Like, because when we're kids, you go see a movie and you like it, and you don't have no concept of box office or anything along those lines. You just watch it.
Right.
When was the first time you started thinking about that?
It probably would have been in the 90s when I was a teenager, because I really wasn't considering it when I was a kid. You know, you just watched the movies and you enjoyed it. You didn't really worry about, oh, well, this was only in the theater for this amount of time or whatnot. But I guess when I was a teenager, that's when I started noticing that certain movies weren't in the theater quite as long. And I was like, huh, why? And then you kind of figure out, oh, it's because nobody's watching this. That's why. So like it wasn't my earliest one, but one I can distinctly remember being a box office flop. And I was already an older teenager by this time, but was Batman and Robin. And I can remember really thinking, like, because that was a big deal, because you had, you know, Batman 89, Batman Returns, and heck, even Batman Forever did well at the box office. And then all of a sudden you had Batman and Robin it was in and out of theaters, you know. Yeah, I mean, it was gone fast, and like it was out of there faster than I don't know. I mean, it just surprised me, and you kind of again get the concept of it at that point that okay, yeah, if they're not doing well, you know, they're not going to stay there very long. So yeah, it was probably in the 90s somewhere when I was a teenager, and then again, the first one I can really remember that it stuck with me was probably Batman and Robin. But again, I was an older teenager by that time.
Yeah, I remember too. It was like, because if it was a really, really good movie, there would be that 8-month to 9-month time period before you got it onto DVD, VHS, or Blu-ray. Because
I hated that.
Yeah. The summer blockbuster comes out, and if you're lucky, you get it on Blu-ray by the time winter Christmas rolls around. And sometimes of the really bad movies, you wouldn't even be able to find them on Blu-ray or DVD because they're just like, it's not even worth transferring over there. At least now, if it's bad, it shows up on Amazon within a week. And like I think it was, what was that? It was The Gray.
Yeah. That new one with Jake Gyllenhaal and Henry Cavill. Yeah. Like 2 weeks. It's already out on digital.
Same question to you, Labs. When was the first time you started registering the whole box office flop?
Probably Prodigy Internet. That was probably, I can't remember what it was, what movie that I would remember first, but Prodigy Internet, because they had these like chat rooms that you could go into and you would create your name. It's like right before like ICQ and stuff like that, where you had your own name. And then there was like at the top of these hubs, it would be like movies, TV, you know, and you could pick these chat rooms and it would just be like a chat like here. It would just be scrolling text of people talking about stuff and people talking about movies and them sucking, or like, did you notice how quick that was out of there? And I like I said, I can't remember. I do remember Batman and Robin specifically because I was always under the impression, like, I never saw what people saw in George Clooney. Like, I just didn't see it. Like, I still don't see it. You know, my mother specifically said, I don't get George Clooney. He looks like a butted out cigarette with potato head parts. That's what she said. And I thought it was right on, and that stuck with me for so long. So
I mean, they're statuesque potato head parts. Come on, man. They're sculpted nicely.
Sure. If you want to look like raccoon eyes and hawking coffee, if that's your thing, you know,
it's a lot of people's thing, man.
Sure.
You know,
I
get it.
I'm sure people like coffee, but do they like hawking it? You know, Diet Coke forever, right? So,
well, it is interesting to bring up because with the rise of social media, it seems like this has become much more of a higher talking point when people
for sure.
get onto,
it's become a ridiculous talking point. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Now it's
so ridiculous because people are like, the movie has to make this much money, and it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, where are you getting these numbers from? Yeah. Like, the age-old way of movies making money is not the same anymore. I mean, it was the same with music. Like, the music has completely changed. It used to be album sales. Now it's touring. You know, like, you know, who cares about your number one hit? Nobody cares about the Billboard anymore. You know what I mean? Like that's just not a thing. And if you do, maybe you're just that music is your thing. You know, maybe that's what you care about. But the generality of it, nobody really gives a shit. Just kind of like what movies like, oh my God, it's underperforming at the box office. Okay. Do you like it? That's all that matters to me is, did I like it? You know, and I could give a shit less. I just get sick and tired of hearing these same people. Every movie that comes out, it's like the worst thing ever.
Well, it's before they even see it. It's like instantly, they're just waiting, and they just start saying stuff. Like we were talking about with Masters of the Universe before we did this question. It's like they're watching different movies. Like I think I have to double check with some of these reviews. It's like, okay, wait a minute, is this Masters of the Universe? Because this doesn't sound like the same exact movie that this guy over here was talking about. It's really forced, and it just kind of sour and toxic.
Part of the problem is they're using it as an indicator for the quality of the movie, and that's not necessarily a thing. Like as of right now, it looks like that Masters of the Universe is going to have a very weak opening weekend, but I enjoyed the film, and I think that the general audience that goes to see it will enjoy it. The problem though is you got all these talking heads out on the internet that are like, oh yeah, you see, it's doing awful. Like that's an indicator of the quality of the movie. It can be an indicator. Like if you see a ton of people go out and see it that opening week, and then it makes absolutely nothing the next few weeks, well, then that tells you, okay, well, maybe the word of mouth is. But that initial opening week, just because it's weak, that doesn't mean that it's a bad movie. And a lot of times they use that as an indicator. It can be, but it's not necessarily an indicator.
We also live in a world where a movie with high positive audience buzz will get a sequel, even if financially it didn't hit all the landmarks that you would think it would need for a sequel. And we also live in a world where a movie can make $1 billion, but get such sour response that they change directors, they change course, they change everything around, or just flat out don't have any sequel at all. Like Suicide Squad, the first one, I think was close to $1 billion. Then the next time they came around, they completely rebooted it with James Gunn. And it's like there was no, David Aries getting a bunch of other stuff along those lines. So great. Same question to you, sir. When was the concept of the box office flop first into your entertainment world?
Surprisingly late, just when I actually understood what the concept meant. I think I would have been like in my late teens or early 20s when I finally like put it together, sadly. However, my dad was always into like watching movies for escapism. So he showed me like all the cult classic comedies, and he would tell me they're cult classics. And I was just an idiot. I never like put those two words together and actually like thought about the meaning. It's just like, oh, okay, yeah, people like these. And then it kind of struck me what that actually was much later, sadly, in life. But there's just so many of them that have become classics, and they were classics because of either rental or DVD or VHS sales. And man, a lot of those are comedies. Almost every comedy you can think of, it probably didn't make $1 billion. It didn't make a lot in theaters, but man, that cult classic is kind of what makes them known to these days. And I even used to watch, I can't remember if it was like TBS or TNT or one of them, but like they would even like use the catchphrase like "you're home" for the cult classics or something like that. And I still never put it together, but they were always around. I was just an idiot. What about you, Warren? When were you aware of like what a box office flop was?
It was much later too, because I did watch a lot of the movies I watched was like on HBO growing up. And when I went to movie theaters, the concept of whether or not this was going to be doing good or not, it really never really settled into my head. I never even thought about it. And then as I got older, and when I was in the Army, I was introduced to all kinds of these independent films and all this stuff, View SQ stuff and along those lines. And I was kind of like, wow, this must have been great because these are awesome movies. It didn't really click with me. It's like the whole idea that you could have an awesome movie that just no one goes to go see or cares about. And it wasn't until later and a lot of like, just as it became more and more a talking point with any kind of media discussion, it seemed like money was coming into it. And it was much bigger before the rise of video on demand, because that was the box office was kind of your measuring point. So then when the plague hit, the plague days, it kind of changed the whole scope of the industry. But before, they would talk about it, but it just never really registered with me, because to me it was just like, if did I like it or did I not like it kind of deal. It wasn't like the concept of a movie making $1 billion and people not liking it was kind of just weird to me, even when it was like Suicide Squad or even those later movies in Marvel days where it's like, so Miss Marvel makes $1 billion but people hate it. Like I don't, that just seems really weird to me. And then you'd see another movie, well, it's supposedly flopped, but it's getting a sequel. Why is that? Oh, it's because all of the positive momentum of the buzz they've put money into and really to go try for it again. So it wasn't much later to the whole idea of it. Now it's gotten to the point where I think it's almost just like a non-talking point. Like there's so much unknown with video on demand, with streaming, with how they run their numbers, and also too tax breaks. The way advertising's done, there's not a guarantee. I remember the first time I learned about the whole, usually the movie studio will spend the same as the budget or like more or twice the budget on advertisement. The only time I ever heard that was when Kevin Smith was talking about it on Smodcast. And he would talk about how they would spend double the budget or spend the amount of the budget on advertising for a movie. So that wasn't even floating around until I heard that. It didn't even seem to make sense to me. Why would you spend all that on advertisement? But then the same thing, like Labs mentioned earlier, like, what if they own the advertisement company that's doing it? So yeah, they might be spending it because they might be separate subsidiaries, but they're just paying themselves. So it's, yeah, the whole thing that even now, the whole box office thing doesn't really, I don't know. I understand how important it is. And when a movie does really crazy good, like Avatar, was it the second Avatar made $2 billion? That's kind of crazy and impressive to hear about. But mostly though, to me, it's just like, we don't really know what's going on behind the scenes, because if a film is doing super successful financially, does not mean that they're going to carry on with it or have faith to do anything more in it. So there's a lot of unknowns that go into this whole thing. But enough of that kind of stuff. Let's go into our lists, and we'll start off with you, Bob. And what is your number 5 box office flop that you love?
Okay, so for mine, I had to go back and look at films that were considered box office flops, and I was surprised at some of the ones that were flops. I'm like, really, that flopped? Because again, you had no concept of it, during that time or whatnot, and so I was surprised at some of these. And so then I kind of looked at them and I was like, okay, which ones am I rewatching the most of these? And that's kind of how I came up with my list. So for my number 5, I have the film where there can be only one, and that is The Highlander. I love Highlander. The original run that it got, at least when I looked it up, it was a $12.9 million against a $19 million budget. So it was considered a financial flop, but of course it got popular through being a cult classic. Of course, they did the sequels and the television series and all that other stuff. But the original Highlander's great. I love this movie. You've got a Frenchman playing a Scotsman who can't speak any English. You've got a Scotsman playing a Spanish dude. I think it's great. What's his name? Clancy Brown as the Kurgan. I mean, this movie's a lot of fun. I'm actually looking forward to the remake. Normally I'm not too big on remakes, but the remake looks like it could be kind of fun. But the original Highlander, that made my list at number 5. I think Christopher Lambert's great in that. Even though you could tell he was struggling to deliver his lines, he's still a lot of fun in the role. And it's over the top, but it's cool. I love Highlander.
Doesn't have to know English.
Yeah.
I love how Connery, no matter what role he plays, he's a Russian sub-captain. He does not change his accent.
No, he doesn't.
He never will change. He just must have a Scottish accent, but you're a Russian sub-captain. Whatever. I'm Sean Connery.
Yep. So yeah, I got Highlander as my number 5. I love that movie.
See, I'm kind of shocked that was a flop. Like when you see something like that spun TV series, comic books, novels, it's kind of crazy.
It's like 5 or 6 films, a television show, a spin-off show, and then there was a cartoon.
Now a remake that could spin off even more.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, Laps, what was your number 5?
My number 5 is Treasure Planet. I like that movie. I like it. I don't care. I love it.
I just barely saw that elapsed, and I liked it.
Yeah, I like Treasure Planet. Or what was the damn it, I can't remember. But when I saw Treasure Planet, I think I took my oldest son to see it. I can't remember. We had a good time. Supposedly, the box or the budget was 140 million. The box office was 109 million. And the supposed, I always say supposed because you don't know the numbers, right? The supposed loss was 89 million. Whatever, right? I don't know how it goes, or how it works. This 2.5 thing just doesn't make sense. Because in business, you don't pay yourself. That is not how it works. You can't do that. So I don't understand the whole 2.5 thing, right? So, but whatever. I liked the movie though. I thought it was. I kind of am a sucker for those adventure style movies and Treasure Island and those type of things. I even like the Muppet Treasure Island.
Oh, it's the best.
Oh yeah,
dude.
You're not alone. There's quite a cult following behind that film of people who love that Treasure Planet movie. I mean, you see it on TikTok and all across the way. It seems to be getting more and more of a following as it goes along now than it used to.
Yeah.
So.
I'm really I like those type of movies and the animated movies based on Bible stories and stuff like that. I don't know why. I like that stuff. So that one to me, I was very surprised that it lost that much money, apparently. When it's all right, whatever. Because as Nightmare Nerdscape says, the animation still holds up. It really does. It actually is a beautiful movie. I have it on Blu-ray, and it's really, really nice looking. And I'm gonna show my son David the movie. So because I had seen it it was on TV or something like that, like a year ago or something like that. And I caught the end of it and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about this movie. I like this one a lot. So I went and bought it. So I'm going to show David that movie sometime soon. But Treasure Planet for me, number 5.
Nice.
I barely saw that about a month and a half ago for another panel show that I was on, where they were doing animation movies for the entire month. And that was the one that their chat had picked. And I was surprised how much I enjoyed it. I think it's a fairly good adaptation of Treasure Island. I mean, obviously it's not, 1-to-1 transfer or anything like that.
Right.
But I think it does a pretty good job capturing the spirit of that story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
It's a fun version.
Yes. And
I also just saw it about 6 months ago. My wife found out I'd never seen it. She made me watch it that evening.
The
it's
ship scenes
awesome,
are
man.
really cool looking. They're there's some really inventive ideas in it. There's some really cool stuff. And I think at that time though, what was it 2002 through 2008 that they were looking for franchise spin-offs and you know what I mean? Because every movie got the Disney series and shit like that, or the series on the CW or the Warner Brothers, the WB type. You know what I mean? Everything got that, so maybe it just didn't have enough legs to get one of those, or him appear in some sort of random video game of the same nature. I don't know.
Sometimes they get pissed off they don't sell enough toys.
I mean, that's also true. So, yeah, I don't know. Good movie though. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. And Gray, you're number 5.
Here comes controversy.
So I have a feeling this won't appear on any of your guys' lists, but so
really,
it had a budget of $110 million, and in the US, it grossed 1.9 million. So that's a little bit off. Internationally, it did a little bit better. It did about 20 million extra. So it did about 22 million worldwide on a $110 million estimated budget, which doesn't include the advertising or anything like that. So it is undeniably a flop. I got a recommendation to go see this movie. I knew nothing about any of this. I'm pretty sure if I say the name Robbie Williams, does that mean anything to any of you guys?
Yes, I know who that is.
Yeah.
Okay, I did not. Yes, he's a singer guy. So it's this weird biopic, if you will.
I know where you're going.
But it's very strange. Instead of having like the actual actor, Robbie Williams does do the voiceover for it, but they have a monkey in the whole thing. It's so strange, and it shouldn't work. And it's this musical of this guy that I don't really know anything about, yet somehow it really sucked me in and just kept me so engaged. So yeah, I'd recommend checking it out because nobody else did. Man, it really kind of won me over. It's the same director who did The Greatest Showman. So I don't know if you're into musicals. I'm not usually into it, but man, this kind of got me. I remember Robbie Williams for one thing, and I couldn't have told you his name or anything else. I just remember this weird ass music video where he just keeps like ripping his muscles off in this weird dance. And yeah, what can I say? This movie made me feel for a monkey. It is strange and it is super engaging, but
what is the name of the movie?
It's called Better Man, and that's kind of the problem. Like, would you think Better Man means anything?
No.
Like, oh, okay, yeah, the monkey biopic film about this British singer that I don't know. It really sucks. So it came out in 2024 and just did nothing. It really, it kind of sucks, man. I would recommend checking it out when you have time. If you liked The Greatest Showman, I find this superior. But yeah, it is undeniably one of the biggest flops in film history, from what I understand. So I'd recommend checking it out.
The trailers did not do that film any justice. I remember
they really didn't.
The advertisement came out for that. Just it looked weird as hell. Like it did not do it any kind of justice. Whatever they spent on marketing.
Dude, I went in thinking I was going to hate it so much. I knew almost nothing about it other than like it's a musical biopic and there's a monkey as the star. Man,
comparing it to The Greatest Showman is not good though.
A lot of people enjoy that musical.
Oh, I
don't think you're the target demographic for it, but I'm not the target demographic for this either. And man, it won me over. But what about you, Warren? Do you have a controversial pick, sir?
I don't think controversial, but it's a movie that I love to watch at least once a year. And mine is the Antonio Banderas-led The 13th Warrior, which, according to the Google, its budget and advertisement was supposed to be around somewhere around $160 million. And it made around $62 million, apparently, with international and with domestic gross. I don't know why it was $160 million. Maybe Antonio Banderas' food budget or something, but I love that movie. It's a really, really cool Viking kind of film. They do a great job displaying the Vikings in it. The cannibal tribesmen that they're facing were real badass. I love how it mixed, like how the mystical is just, like how people with their superstitions, but it's just turned, but it's just like the fire serpent was just them using torches to make it appear like a fire serpent. Just really cool combat in that one. Cool scenes in it.
I remember the sword work being awesome.
Yeah, the Vikings were really awesome. They portrayed them as very intelligent, tactical warriors, and I was kind of shocked that it was a flop. I didn't realize that it cost so much to make that movie, but there was a time period where budgets, they could do a lot more now on a sound stage, and it looks almost just as good, if not better in some cases. But I guess when you have that many extras, you're filming full battle scenes, the budget starts to go up on it. I don't know all the details, what was behind the scenes, but just a beautiful movie, though. I really like it.
It's a cool movie. I like that movie. When I saw that on the list of flops when I was looking, I was like, really? Oh, really? And then this he says Treasure Planet. I thought that got scrapped. I didn't think it ever came out. Did it ever come out?
So like a straight to DVD thing? Or?
I thought it still. I could be wrong, but I thought the straight to DVD one got scrapped. Someone might have to look that up for me. But he would know better than I would. So if we could look that up, because I swear it got scrapped, but I don't know. I am so awful when it comes to knowing anything about things that aren't Batman. So
all right. So Bob, let's move on to number 4.
All right. So mine number 4 grossed. It was 15 million on a $15 million budget. And this movie was so creative that it had multiple endings, and depending on which theater you went to, you got a different ending for this film. And my number 4 is the movie Clue. I love this movie. This is a fun movie. Tim Curry, Christopher Lloyd, Leslie Ann Warren is in it. I mean, this is just a fun movie. It's of course based on the classic board game. You know, you've got Professor Plum is Scarlet, you know, all of them with all of the locations that you've got in the game, as well as with all the different murder weapons. And I think that this movie is just really cool. The original film, of course, it depended on where you saw it, but then when it got to the video and to Blu-ray and whatnot, they had, you know, all endings put on there, and they would say, well, that's what could have happened. Well, how about this? You know, and then, well, okay, well, here's what really happened. But I think that movie's a lot of fun. Tim Curry is at the top of his game in this movie. I love the sequence where he's running through the house, telling them how everything was done, and they're all just chasing after him. That's a great scene or sequence. So I had a blast with this movie. So Clue is my number 4.
That's an awesome pick.
That's a good choice.
I remember loving that one so much as a kid. My dad hated that. I remember getting yelled at for putting it on. Yeah, man. That's awesome. It's polarizing, I guess.
It and going like, what in the hell what am I watching? But it was fun. It was fun though, because we had the board game. I still have it, the original board game upstairs. And me and my sister and my mom used to play it quite a bit. And yeah, it's a fun game, but it's definitely a weird movie. Like
it is.
Like that's how when you know you're getting into deep water, when they start making movies based off of board games.
But it works. That's what's weird.
Is
it works.
I like it. I like it. I like the movie. I really do. I remember liking it, and I just remember like we watched it on VHS when it had come out, and like I remember my sister being like, "What is it?" And I just remember going, "This is so weird. What is this?" And I liked it. Didn't it have like multiple endings also?
Oh yeah.
It depended on which version, or like every version in the theater was different. So you could get a completely different.
Sweet.
Yeah. So like if you went this week to one location, you went the next week to a different location, you could get different endings for the theater. And then of course, when you bought it on home video later, they had all 3 endings together.
Oh, cool. So like if you got like the DVD and stuff, you could play like the alternate endings and stuff like that. Oh, that's cool.
So
gotcha.
It was cool.
Oh, okay. He said it was Atlantis, his bad. Yeah, you know what's weird? Those movies are so similar too. And that's not you're bad, because at first I thought they were like the same characters, but in another movie at first. I get them mixed up all the time because I've seen both.
So I thought they were the same movie. That's why when my wife was quizzing me on it, it's like, no, that's not what happens there. And then, she realized I hadn't seen Treasure Planet. So,
it's weird because I did the same thing. I honestly, I swear to God, I did. And I was just like, wait a minute, this isn't. No, wait, what? Because it looks the same. It does. It's like the same style.
They're fun movies. Both of them
are good. Yes, they're good.
I like that weird style.
All right, so Laps, what's your number 4?
My number 4. Okay, so why can't I get this to come up? My number 4 is Ed Wood.
Ooh.
So I really love that movie. And sorry, Thor, I got to move you because I can't see the bottom of my monitor. All right, here we go. Ed Wood, the budget was 18 million, so it did not get an international release to from what I know. So it only made 5.5 million, and then they had in 2021 a New Zealand release or re-release, and it made $268. So there's that. So it made 5.5 million and $268. Now I looked through many different sources just to see. I looked at like the numbers and that website and a few other things. I can't trust Microsoft Copilot because it gave me some really, really, really bad information. Like on certain things, like the budgets for things were so off. So I went to a couple of different like film sites, and both of them said 5.5 million. That's what it made. So I'm surprised because I'm not surprised that it didn't do that great in the box office. I'm surprised that it only did that much because I love that movie, and I guess maybe people didn't really care about Ed Wood, or maybe because it was black and white, or maybe I don't know. But man, that movie, the Martin Landau is Bela Lugosi, right? That's who played him. Man, he was awesome. Like he was fantastic in that movie. And there was, I don't know, I thought it was cool to see, the guy who made Plan 9 from Outer Space. Like that's just such a cult classic, you know what I mean? How many times have you guys seen that on like Monster Vision or like Dinner in a Movie, or I've seen it so many times. And
Mystery
to like
Science Theater 3000,
just the stuff that like they do, like that surrounded it, like the one actor who played Dracula died, so they had the stagehand guy walk around like this for the rest of the movie. Yeah. Just like stuff like that. That's like awesome. You know what I mean? Like it's fantastic. And he gave it, as much as his films didn't do, he gave life to actors who at the time you were signed to a studio. You weren't like an independent contractor that could sign for a movie. You signed with MGM or you signed with Universal, and he gave life to these, actors that weren't doing anything, that were shut out, And yeah, I mean, I thought that was really cool. And Johnny Depp's performance is fantastic. I think that was one of the starts of his weird, quirky guy performances, like, cause he still like played it, but like he was a little bit more normal, but you could see it happening. You could see the metamorphosis of Captain Jack Sparrow for every fucking guy that exists that he plays. So yeah, Ed Wood, man, I love that movie. I could watch that at any day. It's like Forrest Gump for me. Like I could watch that at any time.
I dig that one a lot too. For some reason, my wife hates that one. She's not a fan of Ed Wood, so maybe it's that. But man, it's one of like the most endearing Johnny Depp performances for me. I do enjoy Ed Wood's movies though. So I didn't
even know until that came out. Like I knew about the movies, because you either see something like worst movies ever made, blah blah blah, but I didn't know much about the guy or how he got the movies made until I saw that, and that made me go look, for like stuff online later on in life about the guy and how he got movies made and how like certain things would be like so horrible, and he'd be like, cut it, let's go. Like, let's fucking go. Like, there's a person right there with a child. Like,
I think part of the thing is like, like his films are somewhat niche. I guess you'd say Tim Burton ones are kind of niche as well. So you go niche on top of niche, and then you're also going black and white. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's going to turn some people off, but
right,
man, I dig it for a biopic. That one's fun.
I enjoyed it, and I see what you're saying. Like, because it's like it's already a niche thing, and then on top of it, like you said, black and white. So it's like you're already like putting ducks in a row for people not wanting to see, or sit through in the theater. Maybe it's a better home viewing experience than it would be in the theater.
I know I definitely was late to that one, but
so was I. I was late
it
as well. I think I saw it on VHS.
I think mine was DVD, but yeah.
But yeah, that's my number 4.
Well, all right, Gray, you're number 4.
So this one might be controversial because to me this counts as a flop, but I don't know. Maybe you guys will call me out on it. So it was a $6 million budget that's estimated, and that doesn't include any of the advertising or anything like that. And in the U.S., it was only able to gross 1.4 million. So it's quite a ways.
Yeah,
it's quite a ways away from that, and it was just a flop, and it was going nowhere. And then it got this UK release, but based off of this one song that was in it that just kind of became a hit. Somehow it made it to like kind of a cult hit, and then they were able to make about 5.5 million. So it ended up grossing 7.5 million on a $6 million budget, but that's only because of like the UK release. So it's Donnie Darko that I'm talking about. It became this huge cult classic, but you'd think that it would have actually done well, but
I can agree with you. I can agree with you because I didn't even really know about that movie till it was DVD. Like I did not know about that, and I didn't hear about it till like people were talking about it afterwards. So I could see that.
It's just got some amazing, like just iconic shots in there for me. Like there's this oneer at the beginning, which is just so amazing, and then the fact that it's like the reason behind all of it, I dig it. And apparently there wasn't much thought gone into it. It was kind of stream of consciousness writing. It kind of comes off that way. There is like this dreamlike quality to it that I really kind of dig. And I see a bunch of films that kind of tried to recreate this. There are some negatives to it. It did give the world Seth Rogen. I believe this was his start as the bully in this one. But there's some interesting things going on in this one. It's one of my favorite. It is my favorite Gyllenhaal performance, but it's, I think, my second favorite Swayze performance. There's some amazing things going on in here, and just the way that some things loop together is just perfect. And then you've got Drew Barrymore, and I don't know. I really dig this one. It is definitely a cult classic. It has definitely made its budget back now, including any advertising that it would have had. But in the US, when it was released in theaters, it was just a big flop. So man, I'm putting that one for me as my number 4.
Do you think it's like what it was released against could also affect it, like with the Ed Wood and also with the Darko, like what was released the same weekend? Could that have affected?
It definitely could be. I know,
well,
like
I don't know about Donnie Darko though, because that you're right. Sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, that's what Schwarzenegger says about Last Action Hero. It is a weird, like, kind of meta action thing, but it opened 1 week after Jurassic Park, so he does blame it on just timing. That would have been a super classic if it wasn't for Jurassic Park. I think it definitely plays into it.
It might be a little bit more, but I think like you nailed it with the stream of consciousness, because like at the beginning you're like, okay, what is this? And then it is like from like the 20-minute mark to like the hour, there is just a bunch of weird randomness happening to where it's not really cohesive. Like it brings everything at the end, brings it together, but I don't know if people like would have. That's another one. Like, would that have done well in the theater? Maybe now, like, since people know about it. That was one that I didn't, like I said, didn't know until DVD, but I did get to see it on a screen at this place called the Rex in Pittsburgh. I did get to see it there, but that was like one of those, like, you know, hipster doofus places that would play movies. They were on like a half-sized movie screen, but it was still big, you know. And I don't know, man. I think that's a good pick because it did deserve a lot more. It was a very thought-provoking movie. I could say that. It was a very cool way to deal with the way that they did stuff with like the questions of time travel and wormholes and all that stuff. Like,
and sacrifice and
right.
It's very strange, but yeah, I think timing has a lot to do with all of these. I do think, and advertisement as well, because how the hell do you advertise for this or say the Monkey Man biopic? I don't know how you advertise for that and get lapsed interested. But I'm telling you, man, if you started watching it, you would be.
So we got a comment from Twitch from GZ Doctor Forever.
It's the Giz Doctor.
Number 5, House of the Dead. He said, I like it. 12 million budget, 13.5 gross. Number 4, 976 Evil, 2 million budget, 3 million gross. Sweet.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for commenting. I appreciate it. That's awesome. That's also another cool thing with doing something like this is people are going to have like way different movies than each other. And then that'll give us something else to watch. Cause now I'm going to go watch the freaking Better Man movie. I know I'm going to. I know
saying it's the greatest thing ever, but like I went in there super unhappy and it's like, I don't want to watch this. This is going to be shit. And I was like, I don't know, man. I had a great experience.
I'm going to go watch Treasure Planet now.
I've Joker, Holy Ducks. I'm surprised you didn't have that. Or maybe that might be number 1 for you.
Hey, no spoilers, man. Hey, Warren, what's your number 4, sir?
My number 4 is the only animated movie on my list. And according to Box Office Mojo, it made domestically 23 million and some change. Internationally, it made 21,000 and some change, and its budget was supposedly $70 million. It is one of my favorite Vin Diesel movies.
Don't say it because it's my next one.
Because it is the one and only
him back there.
The film that if anything needs to be remade is a live action movie.
Yes,
it's The Iron Giant. And
so
that
can we do this together? Because
let's do it together. Yeah, perfect.
Literally my next one. So yeah, you can skip me on the next thing.
It's a beautiful animated film. According to the Google, I guess it had a really rushed release and horrible marketing, but it's now considered like an animated masterpiece. And it is one of those ones that just does not get the love that it deserves. And if I was going to be excited about any live action remake, because I understand Nightmare, they're like, no, don't leave it alone. But Iron Giant needs some love. Like, honestly, it's such a beautiful movie.
Yeah, and it's funny that you said it was your Vin Diesel favorite performance. He's got some grunts.
Superman.
So that was a movie that. It's really cool how I saw this movie. I didn't see it in a theater, but in 2000, when my sister ended up getting married, their first apartment that they lived in when they the first day they got digital cable, like the old big giant boxes, that was on one of the movie channels that they had. And me and my brother-in-law watched it from the beginning. We were like, this is awesome. Like, this is fantastic. And we loved it, man. We loved that movie. And that was actually my next pick was The Iron Giant.
It is amazing.
As soon as you said the budget, and I was like, I know what it is.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Don't say it. I saw it. And then I'm looking at your screen, and right behind Buddy Christ is The Iron Giant. So
it is amazing that it didn't do better, like to catch on more. Like, I don't know what happened behind there, but it's hard to find someone who's like, oh yeah, that movie sucks. You know, and it's one of those.
It's a heartfelt, great story. Like, and the scene in the junkyard alone, like that's just like that's a heartstring. You know.
Oh yeah.
I'm with you. I don't understand how it wouldn't have done at least decently compared.
Yeah,
to
and it left open for a sequel too, and like we still haven't. Like they it's almost like they just don't want to touch it. It's like we tried it, it didn't work. It's a classic now, but we're not going to ever try this again and keep going down. And so,
but I also really, really like this movie. I think it's one of those ones that is beneficial for younger kids. Like it's good enough to where they can watch it and enjoy it, but it also is serious enough that you can, gain something from it.
Yeah.
So Like all my kids so far, I haven't showed it to David, but all my kids love that movie. They love that movie. And we had my daughter had one of the big stuffed, not plushie, but before that, it was like this big stuffed iron giant that she always had. And I think she still has it. I'd have to ask her, but yeah, that's a great movie, man.
Oh yeah.
All right, so you can skip me after Bob. You can go right to Gray.
So Bob, what is your number 3 choice? Oh, you're muted, Bob.
Sorry about that. Yeah, so my number 3 choice deals with the question, what if all of your dreams finally came true and you got a golden ticket to a murderous chocolate factory with a host that could care less about anybody there, and starring the great Gene Wilder, and that is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. So
this was on my list for so long, man. It just barely missed the top 5 for me.
It blows my mind
I love
that this is in the flop category. Like,
yeah,
I did not realize it until we did this.
Well, apparently it made $4 million on a $3 million budget. But I mean, this was a film that when we were kids, we were always watching this thing. I mean,
yeah,
like if you had a snow day at school or something like that, they turn on Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. It was either that or they might play Hoosiers or the Black Stallion. But yeah, the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is a great movie. Gene Wilder is fantastic in the role of Willy Wonka. He is so sarcastic. It's hilarious just watching his expressions, you know, like you got Augustus mom, please help, please. What?
Yeah,
You know, he's like, my chocolate, my beautiful chocolate. Or like when Mike TV runs off the little TVs, stop, don't come back. You know, it's like, I mean, he's so great and just so nonchalant about everything. You know, Baruka falls down the chute. Yeah, well, there's going to be a lot of garbage today. You know?
And they had to.
But then there's like turns where he's not nonchalant, and man, he goes
crazy
very
angry.
quick, and love it.
Yes. I think the ending scene, or not the ending scene, but the scene where the grandfather asks him about, well, when does Charlie get his chocolate, and the way he just goes off on them, and he's harsh with them. It's like, oh wow, and then only to come back with him being, you know, thrilled that Charlie was the one who won it all. He has that heartfelt ending with Charlie at the end in the elevator and whatnot. I mean, yeah, I think this film is awesome. It's really, you know, disturbed when you think about it, but
well, yeah,
it's still a lot of fun. And I like you, I was surprised this was a flop, but when I found out that was a flop and I was looking at that list, I was like, there's no way I can't include this on there because it was such a big part of my childhood and I really enjoyed this movie. So that's my number 3.
So like you said, that just from the start of the movie, like, well, when you see Willy Wonka and he comes out all like,
I was gonna say that's not the start, man.
Yeah,
Cheer Up Charlie, we could really get rough of that song. Everything else in there is great.
The first 20 minutes of that movie is rough, dude.
How about his lazy ass grandpa just all of a sudden can walk when he finds out he can do it?
No, that's perfect. Kids need to know about what money will do to family. You know, it makes sense to me. But Cheer Up Charlie, worst song ever recorded.
It's well, yeah, it's up there. It is up there. But they had to go and ruin it though. Tim Burton had to go ruin it.
You know what? I don't hate that film the way a lot of people do.
You start, Bob.
No, but it's one of those that I acknowledge it's not that great. I just don't hate it like everybody else does.
It's just he plays the same ever since. Like, he plays the same fucking guy.
Oh no,
dude, I would take that one over Chalamet. I'm just saying.
All right.
Yeah, so I like it. I acknowledge it's not a good movie. I just like it.
And the Oompa Loompa, the one guy,
he's awesome, man.
You took jobs. You took the jobs away. You stole my gerbs. Give them my gerbs.
But again, yeah, that's my number 3.
Hell yeah.
All right.
All right.
Great.
So my number 3.
Controversy here. Is this a controversy?
No, I think this is uncontroversial.
Oh,
The
okay.
controversy is that this one wasn't a hit immediately. So before you were talking about like what could make something not be a hit, is it timing? It could be, but in this case, it's because Fox are assholes. They literally tanked this film on purpose. They basically released it out of contractual obligation. They signed this dude saying that he could do, I think it was 3 pictures, and they did not do a single press screening on this. They didn't do a single trailer for it. They did absolutely nothing. In fact, in some like online ticket sales, it just said untitled Mike Judge film. And it's Idiocracy, man.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah.
Like, while it is a low budget, it's only 2.4 million. It grossed 444,000, so not even 0.5. It really sucks because they did this intentionally to him. It was in theaters for less than a week, and still, making a fifth of the budget within a week. It's not horrible. Who knows? By the end of the run, it might have at least broken even. But man, I can't tell you how many people just assume that this thing was some sort of hit because it gets referenced in everything. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've heard like, no, it was a documentary. It was so ahead of its time. Like, it's more prescient today. I love me some Idiocracy. I wish that they kind of gave Mike Judge a chance. Literally any one of his films could be put forward for this list. But yeah, Idiocracy seems like the worst, most egregious flop that the studio intentionally did just to fulfill his contract. But it is, I think, my favorite Luke Wilson performance. Everyone knows this movie. It is kind of the epitome of cult classic. But between Luke Wilson and Terry Crews, man, I love this movie so much.
Well, anytime someone can say favorite Luke Wilson performance, the movie has something going for it. It
I
does.
mean, there's so many to go from. You've got like Bottle Rocket. You got this one. I'm just saying.
No, me and you have actually talked about this movie quite a bit when we play Arc Raiders because I'm on the same wavelength as you. I didn't put it on here because I knew you were going to, but yeah, man, it's like, like you have a proven commodity with everything the dude touches, like from past history. You could learn like, oh shit, his movies are real popular whenever we put anything behind it. Like, for DVD sales and all this stuff, maybe, just maybe, we should advertise one of them. Let's see what happens. We like money, apparently, but no, we don't. We hate money. We hate money here at Fox. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Warren, sir, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is a Ben Stiller movie, and it is Mystery Men. It had a budget of $68 million, and according to Box Office Mojo, it made $33,461 and some change. And I absolutely loved this movie. I didn't get to see it though. I mean, I didn't even really know about it until DVD, and it's just a really great superhero comedy. It ventures wildly from the comic book, but the creator of the comic book was involved and absolutely loves the way the characters came out. The Shoveler, which was William H. Macy, I believe, he loves him. Was it Paul Rubens in it? Just so many, great comedians, actors. It was just a really, really fun movie that I can still watch to this day and enjoy, but it just did not get any love at all when it came box office wise. I don't even know if it has a cult following. I just like the movie.
I also like the movie. I kind of brought this up to my wife when I was making my list, and she just couldn't stop trashing. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, I think this is my favorite maybe second favorite Hank Azaria performance as what is it, Blue Raja or whatever, who just throws the cutlery. It's great. And come on, a haunted bowling ball like that. That's the dude who can only turn invisible when people aren't looking at him.
And then British comedian, the one that was playing part of the Disco Kings or Disco, the head.
I'm blanking on his name. Also, one of the better Dane Cook performances. He comes in as a cameo as the Waffler.
The Waffler. He's like burns himself in the face.
But yeah, and Smash Mouth adjacent. You know, it's not just the Shrek movies. People forget. But, I support that, man. I like that one. I always like that one. But yeah, that one gets some hate. I don't understand it.
I don't even know if it has a cult following. I just know I like it personally, and I'll watch it whenever I see it pop up and along those lines. But all right, now we're down to our top two. So, Bob, what is your number two?
All right,
box office bomb that you love.
My number two, I was actually surprised to find out that it's considered a financial failure. It made $30.8 million on a $16 million budget, and this is a film that actually rewatched not too long ago, but it's always been one of my favorite growing up. It's an extremely quotable movie, and I would think most people would really enjoy this film. This is like the ultimate date movie that you could go on that a guy is going to like, and that is The Princess Bride.
Yep.
Oh,
nice.
That was a flop too. Huh?
Oh yeah.
Well, it's considered a failure. Part of it is because they didn't know how to market it, and the reason I say it's a film that you could go on a date movie or a date night, and yet it's a movie that a guy can like, is because it has exactly what the grandfather says is in it: fencing, fighting, sports, all that stuff is in this movie. And then of course it's got the true love aspect that your date is going to love. And so it's a lot of fun, this movie. And like I said, it's extremely quotable. Some of the scenes are very memorable as well. I love the sequence when Inigo is telling the story of his father to at that point, the man in black. He's telling his story to him about his father, and the music that's playing in the background, I think it just brings chills as you're listening to that story. And I think it's just awesome. The film itself is again, it's just great. It's a true love story. It's a lot of fun, and I love the nice touch that you've got the grandfather reading the story to his grandson, and the grandson, I don't want to hear any of that kissing, and skip to the good stuff. And then you see him like getting worried like all throughout the story, and the grandfather, stops it like at key moments and is like, oh, she doesn't get eaten by the eel. I just want you to know because you look worried. And he's like, no, I'm not worried. I'm concerned. And then again, you get to another part that's like real intense or whatever, and then all of a sudden the grandson, grandpa, you're reading it wrong. You got to read this thing right. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. The Princess Bride is my number two.
Dude,
Nice.
Iocane powder. I'd bet my life on it. Tasteless, odorless, dude. Prince Humperdinck, dude. Humperdinck. Oh, that's fantastic.
Laps, what's your number two?
Okay, so this is conflicting, right? So I found different information, but Edge of Tomorrow, 178 million, box office was 370. Some say it lost, some say it broke even, and some sites say that it lost like 10 to 20 million dollars or even more. So like there's weird info, because then you look on Microsoft like Copilot, right? And they have the math wrong, because they say it made 370 international, but it did not. Like I looked on many different sites, and that it was 370 overall. It was like 370 something. So yeah, I love Edge of Tomorrow. I think it's a great movie. I think it's one of my favorite Tom Cruise movies. I don't know, man. Like, I think it's a good time. I think it's fun. It's like Groundhog's Day for murder. So, and it's a fun time, man. It's a fun time. The montage in the middle where he's like learning all the things where everybody is, where he needs to be on the battlefield, and he keeps fucking up. He'd just be like, "Oh god damn it!" And then like get smashed or get shot or all this stuff. I don't know, man. I think it's a fun time. I think it's a fun time.
He deserved a lot more love than it got. Like I thought it was. Same with Green. I really enjoyed that movie, and it is great when in the middle parts there because like he starts off just scared, and then by the middle part, he's like the guy. He's shocking everyone around him that this captain. All of a sudden, he's just like running through, just murdering everyone. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, Nightmare Nerdscapes' number 2 was Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within. That almost made my list. I like the animation in that movie. I think it's excellent, man. I think Squaresoft they are very underappreciated with the things that they can do with CGI animation. Like, I would love to see an actual movie developed by their team that's not Final Fantasy related, just to see what they can do with another property. Some of the stuff that they do, even today, like Final Fantasy 16, I know people don't like it as a Final Fantasy game. It's basically like Devil May Cry Final Fantasy, but man, dude, some of the scenery and the cinematics in that movie or video game are excellent. Like their movie quality and the icon fights are freaking insane, man. And Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, like, whew, man, it would be really, really cool. Like, he says he agrees Square and Blizzard could both do great movies. I think, some of the stuff that Blizzard, like Naughty Dog as well, like what they did with the Uncharted series. Like, I remember playing the first Uncharted and I was like, oh, this is a really cool game. But then Uncharted 2 came out and it was like a fucking movie that you're playing. I'm like, whoa, this is what video games are turning into. Like, holy shit.
The guy who directed the first Deadpool movie was a part of a studio that created Blizzard's CG trailers or the cinematics.
Sweet. Yeah.
And like his whole company's purpose was creating cinematics for these video games. And then he was the one that directed, I believe, directed the first Deadpool and also Terminator Dark Fate, I believe, too, was also him. So
yeah, but I'd just like to see like a collaboration, kind of like where the Dragon Quest team and the Final Fantasy team made Chrono Trigger, like for the Super Nintendo. It would be really cool to see what they could do with a movie, like with actual movie property, And I always thought, wouldn't it be cool, like if the animation didn't work out for like superheroes, wouldn't it be cool to see like CGI animation done with some of your favorite like superhero things, like how DC was doing, like they were kicking ass so long on their animated universe, like and they got Nightfall coming out, which is going to be 2 or 3 parts, I can't remember, but that I'm hoping that they follow the book. I hope that they actually have the specific things in it that you need to be in it, and I know that they try to match the animation in the bigger releases. I just hope they don't. They go in like these spurts where like certain ones match the style of the book, right? But then they have other parts where they have a specific animation for the next line of movies. Yeah. And I haven't liked the Tomorrowverse animation, but I know the Tomorrowverse is over, so I'm hoping that this new thing goes back to what they did before for like Dark Knight Returns and even like the Justice League movie where they did the New 52 Jeff Johns stuff. Like even that was like fantastic animation. Like it was excellent animation. So I'm hoping that they do that. But like, yeah, dude, like it would be cool to see something like that, and that's almost like how I feel like with the Edge of Tomorrow movie. Like when I first saw it, I didn't see it in a theater. I saw it on it was like HBO or one of those, Showtime, whatever. And I had heard about it. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, well, let's see how this is. And by the end of it, I was like, damn, that was fun. Like, that was a fun movie. So I enjoyed it thoroughly. That is my number 2.
Good choice.
I get that for sure. I would have thought that would have been a hit. I also was way late on it. So I'm sure I contributed to it not being a hit.
It's all our fault, Greg.
For shame.
It's our fault.
It's mostly mine. I'm sorry about that.
What's your number 2, Greg?
So
what is your controversial pick for number 2?
Well, So this one had a budget of 190 million or 200 million if
oh my,
you check some sources, and they did make a little bit more than that number. So you might think that this isn't necessarily a flop, depending on your definition. So budget of 200 million, it grossed 207 million worldwide. In the US, it only made like 58 million. So not a lot, but I guess you have to factor in a previous movie. So this was a sequel where the first one had a budget of 55 a budget of 55 million, and it came in with a gross of over $1 billion worldwide. So I'm talking about Joker Folie à Deux, Lap's favorite film here.
hey, holy ducks, something.
So the original Joker, I wasn't a huge fan of it. I didn't feel like there was a lot original in it. It seems like it's a lot of King of Comedy, a lot of Taxi Driver, and it feels like it's a lot of familiar ground. While it does have a really fun character, well, fun isn't the thing, a deep exploration of a character that's done quite well. But it does have this ambiguity to the ending, and you're always going to kind of ruin that ambiguity once you go in with a sequel. You have to definitively choose what you're doing with it. And man, did he upset the audience with what he chose. I think a lot of the criticism of this one isn't necessarily fair. It makes sense to me. I understand what he's going for, and it works. It's just a slap in the face for everybody who interpreted it basically the way that it seemed like you were supposed to. That being said, this was a lot of original ideas, and I liked the progression on where it went. I liked kind of the take on these characters, even if they're going with some of the dumbest names possible. But yeah, man, to me, I think I should do something exploring why I think this works so well. Where a lot of the criticism, I was originally gathering a bunch of criticism when it first came out. It seems to be like 4 things that people are saying, and I think they're just wrong about them. So I think I would like to tackle that in kind of a longer form.
People's opinions are incorrect.
I think they're misinterpreting what they saw. I think the anger might have had them misinterpret what was happening there. I don't think it was.
I still want my money back.
I think you
going
did.
To watch that.
How did I?
And you cannot have it. You need to pay extra because it was pearl before swine. I'm telling you, this thing was so valuable, like so amazing, so original. It was the second best musical of 2024. I'm telling you, just behind Smile 2. But what can I say? This one deserved more than what it got. I think everybody is going to disagree with me here, but just rest assured you're wrong. Give it a second chance.
I've seen it twice, so
once was too much.
All right, third time's the Clarence.
Third time is the Clarence, but third time also is the Steve's probably going.
If MSK was a movie, it would be that movie.
It's deeper than you give it credit. Say Warren. What's your number 2?
Wait. Hold on. Time out. It doesn't mean that like I didn't. Just because I didn't like it doesn't mean that I didn't get it. Like I can understand a movie and just not enjoy something, but I think that I see some of the criticisms, and I can agree with you that some of them are off point of what they were trying to do. Maybe they didn't interpret the movie correctly, right? But I also have like a mass like understanding of the Batman universe, right? So like when you have something so iconic as the Joker, right? And you make a movie that even the first one, I thought it was a well-made movie, but I didn't care for it because of what they were doing with the character, right? I don't really give a shit about that. I want to see what was already done. When you take liberties with characters, that's fine, but then it stops being what it originally is, which is that character. I look at it like
it's not what that is, and it's not that character. That's you putting your expectations on it.
No, I'm not putting expectations on it. There's an actual history of the character. So,
Well,
But it's not
you
that
go
character.
back. Right.
I
So
love
it's not Joker. That's
I
exactly
love the
right,
first Joker
which is my
movie.
whole point.
I love the first Joker movie, but that was because of Joaquin Phoenix's performance. Because I agree with you, Greg.
Yeah.
The first movie was essentially just Taxi Driver rewritten, and I've always said that it was only Joker in name. They essentially used the Joker name to sell tickets. It had absolutely nothing
100%.
to do with a DC comic Joker. And also, too, I agree with you 100%. When you go into a sequel with a film that leaves kind of a weird open ending, like, did he really shoot that guy? Did he really do this? What happened? What didn't happen? Then you have to make a sequel. On top of that, you're also wearing the weight of using an established IP name in order to sell tickets. So now, like, if Joker was called The Comedian and then The Comedian Folle Deux came out, I think it would have had a better reception than what it did, because the weight of having that IP name on it that they used just to sell for tickets is what kind of crushed it in the sequel. Also, with the fact
want
of
to make the movie,
trying to define, he didn't have a plan for that movie, and it's like, now I have to make it, and now I have to try to make either, like, he should, in my personal opinion, he should have kept going with the whole questioning reality of what actually happened, what didn't happen. Instead, it kind of came in almost like Last Jedi, the movie, where it's like, no, this is what happened. This is what you're thinking. That's
how a lot of people interpreted it. Yes. I think a lot of this does lie on Todd Phillips, but he did just use that name essentially to bolster that first one, and it got a lot of people interested in it. And then he did play into it at the end of it. He did say in multiple interviews that this is where you can plug any of your other Jokers into, which leads you to believe that he is actually going to be this character that we know. And then he completely went a different direction with it, that it is literally just names, and that's it.
He didn't want to make the movie. They backed up the...
You're right, and they gave him carte blanche. There's no reason why this had to be shot on location in New York, and just they kept giving him money until he finally said yes.
And he goes, I don't want to make this movie again, because if I make another good one, they're going to make me make another one. So what can I do? Oh, I'll make it a fucking musical. That's what I'll do. And then,
that's the natural progression, man. Originally, it was supposed to be a musical, and then COVID happened. And like, it was going to be on Broadway. They were going to actually do this as a legit musical. But yeah, it became different. I think there's a lot that you're not quite giving it credit for, and I think even the way that you're kind of presenting it, where it's like, but it's not this character. This character has like a gravitas to it. You're right, and that's the thing. He wasn't going with that. It's weird. It challenged a lot of people's expectations on it.
Okay. Right. So him not going to make the Joker movie about the Joker character is the high bar that we're setting that I don't understand, apparently.
I'm just saying, pearls before swine. But either way, everything is subjective.
Well, we can probably do a whole show on analyzing.
There's going to be a trial. We better do it.
We have a trial coming up here.
That's perfectly fine. See, that's the thing that, like, I think that gets lost in translation is just because I think something is shit, right? Doesn't mean that other people can't like it and see good things in it, right?
No, everyone's wrong every once in a while. Just most of them are about this.
Right. That's how it works.
Sorry, Labs, I think it's shit too. So
yeah.
That's how.
Well, you guys have the majority opinion. You're just wrong, but that's fine.
Well, I mean, I think people spoke. I think the dude was like, fuck, I don't want to do this again. I'm going to give him shit. That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Like, I love the idea.
He's never going to have to make another one after this.
I love the idea
he probably
of
won't
doing
get
this as a whole show, but I don't like the idea of having to rewatch the movie in order to prepare for the show.
No, we've got to.
When I went to see that movie, then at the time girlfriend, she was all excited because she actually liked the first Joker movie, and she didn't like comic book movies or anything like that, but she likes Joker. And when we were sitting watching it, she looks at me about halfway through and she goes, what the hell is this? And I was like, and I'm like, I don't know. And then I looked over at people next to me, and they were looking at each other going, what is this? That's one of the only movies I've ever seen where everybody in the audience was like, what the heck was this?
What's going on?
The problem is, though, Bob, see, you're just not smart enough to get it. See, you have to have an intelligence level of like up here, where us lowly folks are down.
Nobody said that.
We're
just saying that you're bringing in expectations, and the way that you described it, we're like the legendary character.
I had zero expectations, zero, because I didn't even care about the first one. I had zero.
The first one was decent, man. It's a good character study.
Expectations, zero. No, I didn't like the fact that they were insinuating that he was Thomas Wayne's son. I didn't like the fact that they just, like,
that was weird.
They're just doing things. They're just taking the name, right? And they're messing around in this universe. That's why I say it's like an Elseworlds story, which is fine.
Yeah,
when you 100%. When you read Elseworlds books, you go. Warren can testify. You go in with zero expectation because there's nothing for you to expect. We don't know what's going to happen because they're not going to tell any of the stories that have been set before us in the 3,000 single Batman issues that I have. So that's what I'm saying. I didn't have expectation for it. I'm just being honest. I really didn't. And my wife loved it. She loved it. She loved that movie.
She seems like a smart woman.
She married me, dude. What do you... I think like that's we offset each other. I wasn't sitting there like angry with the movie or anything like that. I just didn't care. I just didn't care about it. Like it just didn't. I was just like, oh, okay, they're doing this, and like, but that it. Like I said, I always operate by the understanding of it's something that I could hate is probably someone else's most favorite thing. And something that is my favorite thing is something else that someone could hate, So like I have zero problem with that movie being made. I have zero problem with people liking that movie. And there's obviously going to be people that liked it, like it can't be as horrible.
There's at least one of us.
As everybody says, it's just, I just don't like.
Well, it can, but
it can.
I mean, I don't know.
It's possible. It's not true, but it's possible.
I think people get rage baited a lot also as well. I think that happens too, because you're right, Gray. People do go into certain things with expectations. And I try personally to do none when I see movies. I try to go in with no expectations.
Maybe that's the issue in this one. So I had heard a whole bunch of different reviews, and I'd heard this is the worst thing ever. So I fully expected to hate it going into it. And I didn't even really like the first one, but man, this was something different, and it wasn't what I expected. And it tickled me the right way.
Maybe that helps because it was so different. You know what I mean? And
it could be.
Maybe that helped for you because I know, like, you like some stuff that other people may not like. And there's like I said, I don't think that's a necessarily a bad thing. Like at least the guy had the balls to go out there and do something different. Like
it may be the last thing he'll be allowed to do, but it was different.
Well, dude, he kept telling them, I don't want to do this. You know what I mean? I don't want to do this. So they got what they, it might be the biggest, like, bull over the eyes, type thing. All right, you paid me. Here we go. This is what you're getting.
Hey, US Barn, what's up? So yeah, we're gonna move on now.
Deal. Warren, what's your number 2, sir?
My number 2 is one of my absolute favorite John Carpenter movies. It is one that has not been brought up for remake yet. I know recently Escape from New York is going to be remade by Zack Snyder. This one has not been touched yet, and I hope it doesn't. And it grossed $11 million domestically and $2,000 internationally compared on Box Office Mojo. It cost $25 million to make, apparently, on the budget. And that is one of my favorite films as a kid was Big Trouble in Little Chinatown or Little China. And I absolutely love this movie. It is so good. I mean, it probably gave us the Mortal Kombat character Raiden. You definitely had to have watched that movie to get inspiration from it.
Mm-hmm.
It was like watching a comic book movie in a lot of ways. It was funny. It had great action. It's one of those ones that probably could get remade if done right. Could be really spectacular, awesome, but at the same time, it's just like leave it alone. It's a gem the way it is, and it's another one had an opening for a sequel in it, but never happened. And I didn't realize of how much of a flop it was, because this was another one that I didn't discover until I believe it was VHS or on HBO back in the days when it was we had a big old huge satellite dish, had to turn it to like G5 in order to get HBO. And it was just absolutely love this movie. And
some of the best lines, man. Some of the best lines.
Yeah,
relax,
Oh, dude,
everybody relax. I'm here.
Jack Burton is like the best Kurt Russell character. I just love his bumbling nature and just screwing everything up. Just awesome sidekick.
What's in the flask, egg? What's in the flask? So like, there's so many, like, dude, may the wings of liberty never lose a feather.
But the aesthetics, like just everything in it, like the kind of underground mall that they battle in at the end, the whole cave with the wheelchair, like everything about it's amazing.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
He's upset, man. He's thunderously upset.
Very angry. Very angry.
But man, the Pork Chop Express, everything about that movie is great. I love that one.
He says.
No, it's awesome. You need to have Kurt Russell doing like essentially a John Wayne impression. It's great.
Dude,
I love that.
It's amazing. Bob, what's your number one box office flop that you love?
All right, so mine during its initial run did $16 million in the U.S. off of a $25 million budget. It is a film that many would consider the Jackie Brown of box office flops.
So it's a great one.
Is it Jackie Brown?
We actually talked about
flops,
this. We talked about this actually a few weeks ago. It came up on several of our lists, and that was The Shawshank Redemption.
God damn it!
I mean,
hold on. Hey, Steve, what's yours?
The Shawshank Redemption. I'm guessing.
The Shawshank Redemption. So let's
another one that's surprising.
Yeah, we'll talk about that together. Yeah. I think that's a fantastic film. Again, it's a surprise to find out that it was a flop because it's always on television. Everybody who's seen it loves it. There's very few people that I've ever met that don't like this film. I think it's the setting is intense. The story I think is pretty engaging. The characters are they're engaging as well. They draw you in.
Fantastic.
I mean, Morgan Freeman monologuing through the whole thing and telling the story. I mean, just every word he says, you're just like hanging on it as he's saying it. And then and like I said, the characters are great. You know, from Clancy Brown, who once again makes another appearance on this list here, as well as the Warden. I think they're great villains in this film.
This movie.
Oh yeah, they're fantastic. Andy Dufresne, I think he's a great protagonist in this film. I just love again, this is another film that's highly quotable. You know,
you get busy living or you get busy dying.
Yeah. Or like, what do you mean Andy's innocent? You're like, for real innocent? You know?
Yeah. You mean like for real innocent?
Well, it seems that way. You know? So,
who's all innocent in here?
Yeah, everybody. He's like, well, what'd you do? Didn't do it. Lawyer fucked me. You know? So yeah, it's a great movie. I love this. I still can get it every time. I still think it's hilarious that one prisoner that gets the shit beat out of him by Clancy Brown during that first night, and that everybody was calling him fat ass, and then when you get to the credits, it actually comes up fat ass was played by so and so. I'm like, the character didn't even have a name. They literally gave him the name fat ass. I love this movie.
Yeah, so many iconic scenes, like, waiting, timing the thunder with the hits, and like just him get through the miles of shit, and the ending, man, the ending. There's so much heartbreak with the old man who gets released from jail, ends up, killing himself, and like then they actually meet up by the boat. Like they actually meet, and it's like they could have left that open-ended, and people would have been, maybe not just as happy, but it would have worked just as well, possibly. But having that actually pay off was pretty awesome, because their friendship is one of those ones in movies that's like kind of special, because people talk about it a lot. I've heard a lot of people, especially like athletes and stuff, talk about how much that movie affected them and how much they love it and stuff like that. So like that was my number one as well. Like it's one of those movies like I could watch it at any point in time, no matter where it is in the movie. I could just leave it on, whether I'm doing whatever, folding clothes, whatever. I could just have it on. It's just it's surprising with how popular the movie is now that it was a flop. Like that it didn't
100%
get anything
Dude,
in
it's
return.
been referenced so many times in pop culture. Like for that being a flop, like how is it just it is like the ultimate cult classic, I guess, or classic. Like I don't even know if it's cult now. Everyone knows that film. It's crazy that it was a flop.
Yeah.
Amazing. And Laps, you talked about when I mentioned the warden, you said how great of a villain he is. Just the things that he does and says throughout the film. Like he starts off, wanting to push Jesus to everybody, and here's your Bible: salvation lies within, my son.
Yeah, and how corrupt he was.
Yes, and he was corrupt as can be. Where they're paying him off. With the pies with all the money. Oh, this is a wonderful pie.
Yeah,
my boys are booked elsewhere that weekend.
And Andy's way to get out of things by doing the books and figuring everything out, but also fucking him royally. Like that's pretty awesome, man. That's pretty freaking cool. Like not only did you plan your escape, you were doing something that the warden thought was beneficial, but you ended up fucking him so hard. Yep. And that's amazing. Like it's like an ultimate revenge film, and you don't really realize it as well. Like it's pretty awesome, man. It works on many different levels.
I love the line that Andy says that when he says, I was outside, I was an honest man. I had to come to prison to be a crook.
Yeah. or like the scene on top when they're tarring the roof and they drink the beer.
Dude, like, the beer.
Like, yeah. That's
best looking beer in cinema.
Because I've had, not saying anything like that being in jail, but like times where, just a nice giant glass of ice water after you like mow the lawn or something, whatever beverage that you haven't had in quite a long time. It's very appealing.
Yeah. And they look like the happiest people in the world.
Yeah. Meanwhile, awesome. Working with hot tar on a roof. Like you look at the way things happened, but thank God progression has happened. I'd hate to see what I would be if I had to live back then. I don't think I'd be alive.
Well, you get busy living.
I got our number one film. Like ever since I was a little boy. People like the sound of my voice.
So, Greg, what is your number one box office flop that we love?
So mine might not have as big of a cultural impact as that one. That being said, it definitely has some cult impact. So this one had a budget of $60 million, and in the U.S. it only grossed $33 million, which, that's not preferable. Worldwide it did a little bit better, so 51, but again, that's against a budget of 60. Not great. Definitely not what they were aiming for. But man, this one and this director deserves so much more. So this one's from 2010, and it's Edgar Wright's Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I don't know. Maybe it's because I had like the soft spot for the weird ass comic that is Scott Pilgrim, but Edgar Wright's depiction of this, it's got to be up there for one of my favorite comic book movies. It is some amazing editing, and then just all the choices in this. It's some very annoying people who are just in the perfect roles. I don't know. This movie works on so many levels that I don't know why it does for me, but yeah, it brings me joy, and I don't know why it didn't kind of get better. I've talked to a bunch of different people about it, and a lot of them don't quite understand it, but it did become so big of a cult hit that they were able to kind of bring the whole cast back together for an animated feature. It's okay. It doesn't have the magic that Edgar Wright kind of captured with this. But sadly, Edgar Wright's had a couple of bombs. There was another one of his recently that I kind of thought maybe would be on my list. It didn't end up this far, but yeah, I think Scott Pilgrim is just, it's one of my favorite Edgar Wright films. There's something about the way that he just kind of puts everything together. And I think it has to be my favorite Michael Cera performance. It's the only time where I actually thought that, he did kind of earn the badassness where, yeah, everything else, it just kind of seems like unearned. Maybe it's not my favorite Michael Cera role. That would have to go to Arrested Development as, George Michael. But yeah, I got to say, Scott Pilgrim, it deserved a lot better than that. Sadly, I don't think it should have been a flop.
This one shocked me because I remember when it came out, and I wasn't really paying attention to box office at the time, but this was so ingrained in the cultural zeitgeist, this movie. There were kids who just were losing their mind over it, and it kind of shocked me that it didn't make maybe the target audience. I don't know what it was, because this movie was very much into, like, you just saw it everywhere. Maybe it's because I was in the comic world, and maybe it's because I was in that nerd culture stuff real hardcore, but it was just everywhere. I mean, I didn't dislike it, but at the same time, though, it's like it shocked me to see it being a flop. Like, it didn't make the money back because it was just everyone was talking about it when it came out. So yeah, this one was a big shocker for me.
But yeah, I dig that one. I understand it might not be for everybody, but for me,
I like that movie, man. I think it's cool.
Yes.
I think it's a fun movie, and it's a fun comic book as well. It is a fun comic book. It's very fast paced. It doesn't lag at all, like how some of those style, I don't want to say indie style, but you know what I mean, like some of them, where they try to overwrite the story, and it's like, we get it, we get the universe that they're in, just show. And that was one that just boom, 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 gave you hit after hit. And I like the movie. I think it's fun.
Yeah,
it's a good movie.
Well, Warren,
yes,
what's
sir.
your number one, sir?
My number one is a movie that I still, to this day, I think it's a crime that it didn't get received better. I think it's a crime that we haven't got a sequel to it. And it is probably one of the top comic book movie adaptations I've ever seen. And when it came out, it made $13 million domestic. This is 13 plus some change.
Steal.
$27 million internationally for a grand total of $41 million on a budget of $50 million. And it is on my watch every 3 or 4 months movie list, along with Predator and Terminator 2. And this is the 2012 Carl Urban movie Dredd. I have no idea why Dredd was not picked up for a TV show or given another movie. I don't find many people that dislike it. I think it's one of the better, like I said, comic book movies that ever came out. It's just a great movie.
At least you didn't pick the Judge Dredd.
Oh no, I hate that movie. It's an abomination.
Well, wasn't that one kind of a bomb too? Haven't they tried a couple times and it just didn't take off?
Yeah, the Judge Dredd movie with Stallone was pretty terrible. Like, Carl Urban refused to remove the helmet because Judge Dredd never removes the helmet in the comic book.
Yep.
And they were I thought that like it came out very close the same time as the movie The Raid, and the plots are almost identical in some spots, and there's some discussion about who may have copied who, but based upon script writing times, a long time. It depends, but it's just a great action film, top to bottom. Oh, sorry. But yeah, I don't know why. I'm still flabbergasted this movie didn't do better.
Justin says, "Don't think it was a total bomb, but Watchmen was pretty awesome." Yeah, one of the few Zack Snyders that I can stomach. You know.
Yeah,
sure.
And they have
It is
on
beautiful looking.
They on HBO Max. They have a 2-part. It's almost like an animated Watchmen, and they do it strictly by the comic. It's pretty interesting. And it's really cool looking as well. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's really, really cool.
Watchmen fell into the same problem with a lot of Zack Snyder films, is that he makes a 4-hour-long movie that the movie companies want to cut down to about 2.5 hours. So then you watch that in the theater. Yeah, you watch that in the theater, and it's kind of all over the place, but then you have to watch the 4-hour version in order to get the full context of what's going on. I have the ultimate cut where they spliced in the animated pirate adventure, and they did all of the stuff that was cut out into it. And there's like a bunch of stuff cut out, and it is a really awesome. It's a comic movie that has a better ending than the comic book, in my opinion.
Wait, you don't like the giant octopus?
No.
The China squids are awesome, man. Come on.
I think having Dr. Manhattan be the villain at the end was better, in my opinion. But yeah, it's another one. But Judge Dredd, I have no idea why this movie didn't spawn, especially in the streaming age, why more people didn't try to do, like, I've heard they've talked about it. I've heard that Carl Urban wants one, but they've never done a series or tried to do anything else with that movie or that franchise.
Justin says, when I went to see Watchmen, I was in the front row staring straight up at a giant blue penis man, and my girlfriend was not prepared. Nobody ever is prepared for giant blue penis man.
No one.
Now, there was some that didn't make my list. I'm sure the same with you guys. And there was some that were very shocking to me. One of the most shocking was It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah, Citizen Kane was also a flop. Like,
yeah, Citizen Kane. Like, It's a Wonderful Life is played everywhere every Christmas, but it was a box office flop. Fight Club, Soldier with Kurt Russell. That's another one.
Such a good movie.
I love that movie, and it didn't do well. And another one, Office Space, was one.
Yeah,
it was also a flop. It's kind of now like a cultural deal.
Well, that's the whole thing me and Gray were talking about with Mike Judge. It's just they don't learn their lesson. They don't learn their lesson. They don't push anything for him, and everything he does ends up turning to gold and being so popular afterwards. Like, I would love to see what would happen if he got like full like studios behind him. You know, like it would be very interesting.
It's always surprised me he never did, because I think King of the Hill is his most successful thing that he's done, I would imagine. I mean, it's ran longer than Beavis and Butthead, and probably, I don't know if it has the name recognition for him, but yeah, Office Space and Idiocracy both are classics, and it's just doesn't seem fair.
Well, it seems like anytime he tries live action, it just doesn't kind of work out. He also had Extract after that, and that one just did nothing.
Did you guys have any other movies that were not mentioned that surprised you, or that you
just
wanted to have on your list?
The two that you named were ones that I was going to mention. Was Citizen Kane, and what'd you say, Bob?
The Wizard of Oz. So apparently the Wizard of Oz, when it first released, it was popular at the box office, but it didn't make a profit until its re-release in 1949. Apparently it was like, it looks like it earned only $3 million on a $2.7 million budget initially. So it wasn't exactly considered a box office hit when it first came out. And that's one that to this day people still look fondly back on.
Yeah.
So that one kind of surprised me.
I didn't do it because I didn't have time, but what I wanted to do was, like with Shawshank Redemption, try to read reviews of the film by critics the year that it came out to see kind of like what they were saying and if it was like being critically panned, and then turn around and see, well, now it's a cult, now it's a cultural like classic. It'd be interesting to see how many of these films that became cult classics or cinematic masterpieces, like It's a Wonderful Life, at the time period, was there some guy in a newspaper writing, Waterworld is one that I love too. It was a massive
Waterworld,
budget,
man.
and I love Waterworld though.
Oh God!
What about the follow-up, The Postman? Come on, like you loved him on water, now on land.
It has it's mine. It has the it's mine Kevin Costner line. This water, it's mine. This land, it's mine. That's like one of the funniest memes. Like one of the first memes. It was like, how many times did he say this in a movie? It was like fucking like 29 movies. You play some dude that owns something that is massively being disputed in this movie. Like,
I guess you get typecasted. I guess that's what happens.
This typewriter, it's mine. Don't touch it. Man, it's wild. Like you go back and look through the history of cinema and stuff that is heralded as like these great classics that were like nobody went to see them.
Yeah. It reminds me of like painters, like Picasso doesn't become famous till after he's dead and gone, kind of deal. And it's like these films that come out, people are like whatever. And then now it's like Citizen Kane is taught in colleges and shown to kids.
Hailed as the greatest movie of all time.
Yeah,
I wonder if that can happen in the future. How dare you spoil that, sir? I hope nobody heard you because I was talking over you while you tried to spoil the greatest movie ever. Yeah, man. I don't know. It's weird. I wonder if there can be such a thing as like a cult hit anymore, or if these will have life beyond this, because there's a bunch of them that kind of came out somewhat recently that I think they would at least be a cult hit, but they're kind of nothing. So I kind of previously mentioned like Edgar Wright's, but The Running Man, I hear nothing about that. There's not even like a ground stirring of anyone that likes it, but it was like 110 million and a budget, and then it grossed 69 million, and it's not doing any business. I don't think that's going to be a cult classic like the other Running Man was. A lot of Stephen King stuff sadly is kind of flops, but there's one from kind of the early 2000s ish. Well, I guess just out of the aughts, Disney's John Carter. I don't know if you guys remember that. It was supposed to be this giant franchise.
Yeah.
And it's not the biggest flop ever. It did gross 284 million worldwide. So it sounds like that did pretty good, but it's off of a $250 million budget. So they were expecting to launch this entire...
when that was like that type of budget was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see what they could have done with that, but again, like it's such a weird advertising strategy for that thing.
They tried to play it like it was what's it the god damn it, Jason in the Argonauts, but like futuristically, but it's still in the same setting. It was so random how they advertised that movie, because I remember that, because everybody remembers the scene of him jumping, with the freaking knife, and that whole thing. And yeah, man, that's a weird. I saw that on one of the lists, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember.
I really liked that one.
Yeah,
I wish we could have gotten more in that franchise, but I mean, with 250 million, like you're not gonna make any more of those if they're not popular. And
no, because they were just gonna get more and more big budgeted.
Man, an amazing performance from Taylor Kitsch, but even then, it's 2012, so there would have been some physical media back then, but I don't hear anything. Like I guess rental was pretty much dead by 2012, but like I don't hear any groundswell for any sort of real popularity of that thing. I don't know. I hope cult classics can still exist, because that one feels like it would have been one of those classics that I discovered when I was a kid.
Right. Yep.
Another movie recently that I saw that was a box office flop. I watched it because I had never seen the show that it was a sequel to, and I watched the show. I recently watched Firefly and thought it was a lot of fun.
Oh, nice.
And so I went and watched the movie Serenity, and that was considered a box office flop. But the film itself, I think, is a pretty good continuation of the television show, and it actually gives 100%. The show some closure that a lot of canceled TV shows don't get. So,
I like Serenity.
Yeah, I did too. That was the thing. I really liked it, and I guess it kind of suffered from the same problem that the show did initially, and that was that it had kind of a niche audience that really loved it, and it wasn't until years and years later that it really became more popular to where people are really looking back on it fondly. I can't help but wonder if maybe they had done the movie, say, 5 years after the show, as opposed to just a couple of years later, if it would have done a little bit better and given that fan base more time to grow. But I thought it was a good continuation. I actually liked the movie. So like I was saying at the beginning of this, I don't think the box office is really a determination of the quality of the movie. Unless it's Joker Fall You Do. That's
well,
that is a good indicator. That's a good indicator. But seriously, it's not necessarily an indicator as to the quality of the movie. It can be, but it's not necessarily an indicator that the indicator that people thinks that it is.
Battlefield Earth, greatest movie ever.
We are getting
up there with Travolta performances.
We are getting saturated, though, in a world where you're seeing box office caliber movies pop up like on Netflix and only on there or Amazon. We are getting a world where it seems like people's opinion of stuff has become so monetized and so prevalent with social media that it seems like the zeitgeist opinion of something is more important than is actually the movie itself. So it is interesting to think of, like, is anything going to come along that's going to strike that nerve that get that cult following, or do we have the attention span for a cult following anymore? Do we have anything where we're just moving on to the next thing so quickly that we don't, hold on to something like that? Like, I thought the Dungeons and Dragons movie was great, but that was a complete flop and I don't know why. It's like that was a great movie. There's a lot of stuff that comes out where you're seeing critics.
The first Dungeons and Dragons movie?
No, the one with Chris Pine.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about
Oh no! I'm talking about the funny one that had the good action.
No Wayans, brother.
No, not that one. No. But you're also seeing movies that get good critic response, get good audience response, but they're just not making the money or the impact that you would expect. So it's like,
is it shifting? Is it shifting kind of like how music has shifted?
Yeah.
Is it shifting?
I think so.
We don't know. Because the big thing is major artists, almost kind of like a major star or a major property in music, still makes massive sales. Like on iTunes, it'll that single will sell 1 million or something, million downloads, blah, 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 stuff like that. But are we moving to that point where that's going to be the new medium? The box office is just the thing that it has to do to get out there, and then they start making more money off of buying, streaming. DVD sales is not a thing anymore. I still buy them. I still I every time I go into Walmart, I go and look and see what is in Blu-ray and stuff like that, because I like having that type of stuff. But physical media is not.
Section is shrinking, though.
It is. It is so small now. It is so small. Yeah.
Well, sometimes when you look at some of these films, it seems buzz and audience faith is almost more important than overall budget. Like if an executive sees, okay, this movie got a lot of positive buzz and a lot of people missed out on it because they just didn't want to spend the money to go to the theater, but because of word of mouth and VOD sales, it has a lot of fans behind it. So if we invest money into the sequel, there may be a lot more first day watchers for it.
Right.
It seems like that having that faith and that buzz into it is almost equally as important as numbers, because you can see films that make a big budget number or make a good profit, but yet there was no buzz. No one's clamoring for an episode or a sequel. No one really cares about it. So you don't see anything. Like, I think Superman is an example of this, where I'm very interested with Man of Tomorrow, because Superman had amazing word of mouth. It had amazing small drops each weekend. It had an amazing video on demand release. It just had a horrible domestic or a horrible international showing for it. Now, as an executive, do they see that and say, okay, yeah, we didn't make the golden ratio numbers, but is that when it comes back around for a sequel, are more people are going to be like, yeah, I love the first one. I waited at home. I'm going to go watch the first one in the theaters now. Or, how much does that play into all of this? It's a lot of unanswered questions. It'd be really interesting to be a fly on the wall and find out like what's going on behind the scenes with these decisions.
Well, we're going to find out soon, man. We're going to find out soon. Supergirl comes out in 3 weeks. 3 weeks from today. I hope it does well. I don't think it's going to do well at the theater.
It's such a good storyline, man. If they did it a fraction of as well as it could be, because they've got the writer in there. Like, I don't know. It would be awesome if they did it justice.
It would be great if they followed comic book storylines. It would be awesome. It's right there. It's right there for you to fucking, that's why I said, like, if Marvel does Secret Wars after if that's what the plan is, you have literally Hickman's Secret Wars, which fixes everything that is wrong with their fucking universe.
It seems like they're hinting that they're going that way, but
do they do that?
They've made a lot of bad decisions.
Do they do the 84 Secret? We don't know. We'll find out. We'll see.
Well, there's one thing that's interesting with Supergirl, and is that there seems to be this whole negative cloud around anything that James Gunn does. And there's a bunch of people who are hating on this that are never going to see it. So you could see a Superman effect where it's like 90 audience score, 80 critic score, but yet there's a bunch of people who have never watched it who hate it. And it's like, well, how much of that influence is happening, and how much is that affecting? Well, plus two, I mean, we have $4 national gas average and $6 here in Washington. There's all sorts of other factors that do low box office numbers as it is. But yeah, I want to see Supergirl. I'm excited for it, but I don't think it's going to do well just because of this weird toxic deal going on in entertainment, where there's this whole groups of people who just hate stuff to hate it, and it doesn't matter if it was Citizen Kane.
It's also got a girl in it, so she's gonna be a girl boss, even though she has the fucking powers of Superman.
Yeah, I know.
But
vagina scares the people, so it happens.
Whatever. It's a scary lipped universe down there. Let me tell you. But yeah, man. I hope it does well. I hope it does great.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I think we all do. There's a few people rooting for it to fail, but
there are.
Hopefully that's none of us. I think we all want things to be good.
I look forward to it. I'm a James Gunn stan, so
I mean, I'm gonna be going to see it. I'll be seeing it before we do this show, because I already told my boss my lunch break is gonna be 4 hours that day.
You got 2 tickets for me.
Here's my thoughts. I do think the movie's gonna suck. However, I will be glad to admit if I'm wrong, because I want to be wrong on this. I just have no faith in it, but I want to be wrong because I love the DC characters and I want to see them succeed. I was just so disappointed in Superman and Peacemaker season 2 that I just don't have a whole lot of faith in what James Gunn's doing. But again, I hope I'm wrong. I hope Supergirl is a fantastic movie. I really do, because I want it to be. I want to have some excitement going into Lanterns. I really do. And if
I think Lanterns is not for me. We
see, and that's another thing.
For you, it's Ryan Reynolds or bust. I understand.
No, I just don't like when DC does. This is the DC problem, the Warner problem, right? You either make something so bright and happy, right, that it takes away from the drama, or you got fucking F-bombs in the trailer because this is a disgruntled superhero. He's angry at the world, and he's this, and everything's fucking gray. And like, watch the fucking Lanterns trailer, and it's like, I can't tell what the hell colors are happening. It's fucking space cops. Why are we on Earth? Like, go to
trying to make it relatable. Take you to space, but give it some time.
Be relatable. They're gods. You put on a ring.
They're trying to keep budgets down.
Like, god damn it! Like, this fucking buddy space cop the show.
I don't know. Maybe I'm infinitely hopeful in this, but man, True Detective meets Green Lantern. That sounds amazing to me. I want that to work.
I do too. I want it to work.
That's what people are saying. When does that ever actually happen? That the description.
We'll see. Hopefully this time.
I don't have any.
Hopefully this time. It hasn't happened the other 100 times, but this time it's gonna happen. But
I didn't say it's gonna.
I want it to be good. I have so much Green Lantern. I love Green Lantern. The Kyle Rayner's like literally. I have me and Professor Savage Dad do a show where all we do is talk about Kyle Rayner. Like, I love Green Lantern. I want it to be good. I want it to be so good. But what, like, as soon as I saw the motherfucker, fuckity fuck, I'm like, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah. But like I said, I really do hope I'm wrong about Supergirl, because I want it to be good. I actually like her as the cast, or her cast in the role. I like the costume too. So I want to like this, and I think Jason Momoa as Lobo is going to be pretty good. I think that's a good casting choice as well. I just don't have faith in it, but I hope I'm wrong, because I really want to like these DC movies. I do. So I hope they surprise me.
I mean,
Agreed.
I don't think
we can all agree on that.
I just don't think it's going to do well at the box office. I think it'll be a good movie. I like Superman, the James Gunn Superman. I don't have as many issues with it that other people have. And when not saying you, Bob, but when I ask them what it is, they never really give me like a cohesive answer.
Right.
They say stuff like, it's all over the place. It's this, and I'm like, what is wrong with the movie? Because I could, like I've said, I could take out a book right now and show you like a heralded run by Simonson, Jurgens, it's the fucking same story. So you don't like the comics then? Okay, got it. You don't like Superman. Or was it expectation? Or was it this? Like, there's a bunch of things. Now, if you come and say like it just didn't hit with you, and it was, I could say like you didn't like what's his name, Corn Sweat as Superman, and I could name a few things. Like, I didn't like the Justice Society, the Justice Gang, whatever. I did not like how silly that was. Personally, I thought Mr. Terrific was fucking awesome. I thought that was really cool.
Guy Gardner was done well, but you're right. He's just comic relief.
Where the movie lost me was the prison in the dimension, like that whole thing. It kind of like there were some good scenes in it, but at a time when there needed to be seriousness, we got monkeys on computers.
Which is perfect. I'm
just saying, like,
each their own.
But
I enjoyed it more than I thought I would.
I still liked the movie. I still enjoyed the movie. And there was like a few things like that I didn't like, where Superman was pouting for himself, and like where him and Lois have that kiss, and he's like, "Oh, they got it. Don't worry." He would never do that. That would never fucking happen. That
Well,
would
you're
just
thinking of fully charged Superman.
Never. No, period. Superman.
This was low battery soup.
Even with no powers, Superman would be out there. That's just who he is as a character.
The whole movie was low battery soup.
Exactly. You're not yourself when you're hungry.
Well, the thing,
the Snickers, huh?
The thing though is this though, like, and I can understand where people have that problem, but you have to think of the other side. If you have a Superman that can't be beat, right? That also leads into the problems that they had pre-crisis. They had to change him. When Superman can fucking wrap chains around the sun and carry the sun to a different planet, like, at what point in time do you have anything put him in any type of danger or any type of harm, right? Like, you have to have something that can kick his ass, because Superman, the character, is made to punch the problem away. It's how he deals with things emotionally that you deal with it. And I thought they missed a little bit on there. Now, where they hit it on there was when he had the talk with Pa Kent. That, to me, was peak. Like, I don't know of anything. What was better? Kevin Costner? No, leave me in the tornado. I'm good. Like, you can move at the speed of light where no one would see it.
No, it would give it away.
But yeah, and there's some other issues that I have with it, but overall, I thought they captured the spirit of the character, the spirit. Not saying everything was right with him. Not saying everything that I would have done things differently, right? But Lex Luthor, I thought, was Lex Luthor. Like, I don't know, like, Gene Hackman is better Lex Luthor? Jesus Christ, people.
No, I like
what about Kevin Spacey?
Choices. I was happy with the casting choices. And also, I didn't have a problem with him having villains that could kick his ass, because at the end of the day, yeah, I understand that you need to have that. That's why I've always thought, kind of the way I've explained it to friends, is that with Superman, he's got to have these villains that are otherworldly, because they got to match up to him, and you want to see some of those villains against him. Me personally, though, I just didn't like it that I saw him getting his ass kicked the whole time. Like, even opened up with him getting kicked. But that was me personally. That was a personal
he kicked
choice.
A lot of ass though in the movie.
Yeah, not the way I would have hoped, but like for example, here's the way I would have done it. Again, this is just a personal choice. I would have opened up with it, with him, seeing him saving a bunch of people, all this stuff, and like 15 minutes into it, maybe 20 minutes into it, then you see him get his ass whipped for the first time. And then it's like, oh, okay.
It was a weird opening.
Yeah. That's to me, because it establishes, I thought, for me personally, just something that I didn't like, a precedent right off the get-go. And again, that was just something I didn't like personally. It was a creative choice that I wasn't a fan of.
I felt the complete opposite, because I've seen
and I get why somebody felt differently.
I'm tired of seeing Superman blow problems away just because. I'm tired of it. I've been reading it for 40 fucking years, but I can understand where you're coming from. I understand
exactly, Walter. There you go. That's perfect right there. The ratio just wasn't right. But no, like the thing with Superman is there was a lot of things to like about it, and I've said this in my review as well as on other panel shows, that there's actually a lot to like there, and that's why I was so frustrated with it that I didn't like it, because there's a lot to like there, and it pissed me off that.
Do you think that there was more dislike than like, or was it something that you just didn't like so much that it ruined the rest of it?
There was a lot. Like, for me, it was the stuff that I disliked. Those were the things that trumped everything else for me. And and for me, it was just more of a disappointment level that brought it all down for me. Like, I don't think it's a terrible movie per se.
Right.
But because I was so disappointed in it, and that could be because my hopes were so high for it.
But is it weird that like the thing that kicked his ass the most was himself?
Well, essentially,
I mean, there was Bizarro.
Well, if we're gonna do that, I like Christopher Reeve kicking his own ass better.
But I'm saying, like, the only other thing that got to him was the one time the girl put the nano stuff in him. other than that,
Well, what about Lois, man? Emotionally, she kicked him.
Shit. Dude, that scene where he pounded the dude in the ground and then lasered him in his face. I was like, that's the way that they moved and the way people having a problem with the way that he flew. I was like,
I was fine with that. Yeah, that
was.
didn't bother
I
me.
thought that looked amazing.
What do you think hurt more, that or the betrayal from Lois in the interview where she didn't take it easy on him? Come on, Labs.
I think
anyway.
He's not protected against those emotions.
I hold that movie up against Man of Steel, and I just think of how much better of a representation of Superman than what we got from the last time. Like the Zack Snyder version of Superman, and it still dumbfounds me this day that people praise that as being like Shakespeare.
All he does is pout the whole movie.
It's not Shakespeare. Now, I'm a Man of Steel defender, but I completely understand why.
All he does is cry the whole movie.
I understand why people have the criticisms that they do of it, and I think they're completely founded on that. Like, I would agree that the James Gunn version of Superman is a better representation of Superman. I'm not going to disagree with that. I just happen to like the Man of Steel movie a lot. That being said, I will admit that James Gunn had a better Superman. And I do like Corn Sweat in the role. I think the casting is great. I just didn't like the movie.
I don't know, man. The Krypton that we got that was horrible in Man of Steel.
I will
so bad. And he was like so emo. All he did, he had no faith in humanity. He had no faith in it. It was just like he did not. When I saw Zack Snyder say, "What do superheroes have? They're murderers. They're killers." I'm like, what? What are you even saying? And then it's I'm not worried about the fucking bazillions of people that I got killed by accident by flying through their building, but the one guy who was killing all the people, and why didn't the family just crawl on their bellies under the fucking thing? Like, oh my God, I'm so conflicted. Shut up.
Well,
go down the drain.
That decision, and also the James Gunn decision to make
Jor-El, that was terrible.
Like, so terrible. Both of those decisions were justified by Superman needs to kill someone in order to understand why you don't kill people. And in James Gunn, he used it as in Superman needs more justification. Like, he needs to, he destroyed his idea. Like, he was sent here by his parents to do good. And then it was destroyed. So now he's doing good based on his own what he wants to do. And both of those kind of you don't need them. You don't need Superman to kill someone to make him realize not to kill. Mm-hmm. And Superman doesn't need to have his parents turn into genocidal dictators in order, even though if there is some comic book foundation behind that, in order for him to justify why he's a good person. But he's the personification of hope.
That was in an Elseworld story, though, too. The stuff that...
Well, there is some more foundation for the Jor-El deal.
Yeah, but
since there's going to be no payoff for it,
right. But it only works.
That's also a stupid thing.
It only works if Lex knew about it the whole time. If he knew about it the whole time, it justifies the way he feels about him and the lies that he's told for how many years. If he knew about it beforehand, right, that would make sense. But since it just came out of nowhere to throw a wrench in the movie, I agree. That was fucking stupid.
Well,
I was disappointed with that.
To hammer down that it is a real recording, there's no chance that it's a fake. Right. And then we're never going to address this again. Like in the sequel, Jor-El's not going to show up, or he's not going to find another recording. As far as James Gunn's concerned, he used that
just to see it in Supergirl.
For character development on Superman.
That's fine if they showed that in Supergirl, but that doesn't make it a good choice for the world that they're in.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. There's a couple different storylines where it kind of fits in. I'm interested to see where he takes it because he's not going with anyone specifically. But we'll see. He could say this for me with Supergirl.
Anything with it, and I think that's a mistake.
The Supergirl. I mean the story that I think there's only like 2 storylines where Jor-El is that type of thing. And it's in Elseworld stories, and one one where he's a villain, but he still sent him there to do good, right? He still sent them there to do good, because why would he want them? Why would he send his only child to a place to lord over them, to make an enemy out of him? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like,
we don't have full context of anything yet. We'll see.
Tyranny that Krypton was held against and being held, you're just creating another enemy of a planet. Like, that's like, it's gonna be the same thing. That was the whole point of Jor-El and Lara, being in where they were, where even in certain stories where they're in the science community, or certain stories where they're in the lower class, him not being listened to and not, I don't know. I think it just sucks, because he should have known that the people that took care of him physically were there the whole time. And that's what the idea of his birth parents, right, being these altruistic people. What about the fucking people who raised you? What about the values that they instilled in you? These people didn't instill anything
That's what they're showing.
He didn't need that, but he didn't need that. Yeah, he already had it. He had it by growing up.
That's what was, I think, the point of it. Because at the end, when he says, I want to see videos of my parents. Yeah, I agree with you. Like, it's not needed. But I could see why Gunn did it, because he wanted that character arc for Superman. But at the same time, it's just like with the Superman killing Zod. You don't need that. You don't have to have that in there. And if anything, all it does is just piss people off.
Not all people. Walter, you're not in as small a minority as you think. I also dig it. And I think he's got a chance to truly. So my wife doesn't like it, but I think a lot of her qualms could be won over if they handle it the way that I think they're going to handle it in Supergirl. I hope they do. But it's not as small a minority as you think, Walter.
What would they do just by showing that they're those people that are on the recording?
You'd get more context.
What's going on? What context do you need?
Kryptonians
hits. Awesome.
Kryptonian power stay in Viltrumites.
Yeah,
who are shooting children in rockets that overtake Yellow Sun universe galaxies.
They're right offside the moon of Krypton, just standing there like this with laser eyes. I hate the world. Like, fuck, dude. Like, was there ever a chance of Superman turning bad? No. So fucking. What are we doing?
His clone's not a great guy. I think that shows you how you're raised.
Damaged. His clone is also brain damaged, so
All right.
Robot monkey butlers. All right. We're done. We're done here. What do you guys
All right, guys. So what do you guys got going on this week, Bob?
Well, for me, I just put out a review a few days ago of Spider Noir. So go ahead and check that out. We also did for Dad's Turn to Talk. We had it on this past Wednesday as opposed to Tuesday. We talked the movie Hoosiers, and we went ahead and took a look at the NBA Finals. The way they're going, it looks like we were all wrong. So, but anyway, but anyways, there you go. So we did that, and then I'm hoping to have a small review of Masters of the Universe out maybe tomorrow. I don't think I'm gonna have time to do a full review, so I'm just gonna kind of get some quick thoughts out there. And then next week we're gonna be watching for Dad's Turn to Talk will be back on Tuesday. We're gonna be watching the movie Frequency. That'll be our movie of the week.
Oh, nice.
So,
how good is Spider Noir? That is so good.
Spider Noir was great.
It's so good. I loved every episode of it.
I did too. I thought it was great. So,
Laps, what do you got coming up this week?
Well, on top of being so far right about the NBA Finals, this guy, no. Well, I actually just thought I'm surprised. Me and MSK were talking about this, and I just thought that the matchup between the Spurs and the Knicks would have a easier time defending outside and in. Wemby can only do so much, and for the Spurs to win, they have to have Wembanyama and De'Aaron Fox like literally play at the highest level possible. And it's hard to do that from the inside out as opposed to the outside in, where that's where the Knicks, they actually like their shooting is incredible right now. And they didn't even shoot well in the first game, which is nuts, but hopefully we get a decent series out of it. I'd hate to see the Knicks sweep 3 series in a row. Like, good Lord.
They're up right now. So
yeah, they're up right now. It's like 95-83, something like that.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous. But we got, I'm not sure when me and Warren's next episode will be up, because I know I got to work again, because when I clocked out today, I still had probably a few hundred things to do. So I might just take the weekend off. I'm not 100% sure. But not this coming Tuesday, but possibly next Tuesday, we might have an announcement on a new show that'll be on here with me and Gray. We're going to finalize the hammer out the ideas. And we have the title. It's the Iffy Tuesday show, or Tits. It's Titty Tuesday. So we'll come up with everything, and we'll both, we want this to be like a 50-50 type thing where we both come up with everything and own the show, own the chant. Like my whole thing with what I've said, like in the little State of the Union address I had for this, my whole thing was I didn't want to be sole owner of this particular channel. I wanted it to be a 25% ownership each. I want everybody to feel like they're involved creatively, so we all have an outlet, to do things together, because I think we enjoy making videos together. So even if it's not always a live video, we're going to still continue to do things. And if guys have an idea like, hey, I want to do something, but they don't want to do it on their channel, they have full, I'm going to give everybody the sign-ins and everything so they could put stuff up here. And I have no problem with that, because I want this to be like a kind of like a network where all of our ideas are out in the forefront. And I think with the audience that we're starting to cultivate, I really appreciate everybody being here. And we like doing stuff for you guys, but we also like doing this stuff together. So yeah, we'll have more new shows coming up. But next week will be the top 5 remakes, but you'll also have the schedule for the next month. We'll have that up as well. And I will try my hardest to get the StreamYards made in advance, so they're not just done like the day before. I've just been so busy with work, and when I get off of work, I'm just being honest, the last thing I want to do is fucking sit there and do more computer
do scheduling stuff. Come on, man.
But we might do some video game stuff as well. I'm thinking of, after last panel, I'm thinking of doing some Arc Raiders streams and some Dragonkin stuff. But I think that would be fun, like after the panel, do stuff like that where you guys can come hang out with us and watch us be idiots on video games. Well, more myself. But yeah, so we'll have that coming up. And yeah, I don't know. I've been sitting on some videos for a long time that I just haven't put out. Hopefully I'll put them out. I don't know. But yeah, other than that, just doing stuff here, man. That's my main focus for entertainment purposes is this channel.
All right, Gray, what do you got coming up this week?
Well, not much until Friday, and then we will be talking about the top 5 remakes. So I'm excited for that. But because I'm not advertising anything other than an upcoming new show eventually, let me tell you about a movie that deserved to flop, but I love it anyway. That would be 1993's Super Mario Bros. It deserved to flop. It's not a great movie.
Okay.
I absolutely love that thing.
Is that a top 2 John Leguizamo performance?
I think that is my number 1 Leguizamo performance. I think that's number 1 for me.
Ooh,
yeah, I think I'm going for that.
Okay.
Warren, sir, what do you have coming up this week?
Well, if probably tomorrow, depending on how I feel, and Sunday after I get off work, I'll be working on more pencils for my next comic book, How the Squirrels Saved Longview, which I'm doing the entire comic book from start to finish live on my YouTube channel. And right now I have 3 pages left, and then the pencils will be done and I can start inking. Monday, I will be on with Mad Mel, the artist and writer of Dead the Grim Reaper. And we're going to be doing Dark Stalkers, the video game characters, for our Art Brothers Art Show. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, I'll be back working on more of How the Squirrels Saved Longview. Friday, I'll be on here last panel for top remakes, which I have a feeling that all of our top remakes will be the 2002 classic Rollerball. And but yeah, that's if you follow me on my YouTube channel, essentially with this comic book and with every comic book from now on, I am going to live stream the entire process. So if you want to go back and watch me build pages and do compositions and ink and the whole deal, you'll be able to. As well as that, if you join the live streams, like on Tuesday and Wednesdays, I do 4 to 6 hour long live streams. You can sit in there, you can watch, you can comment. I asked the chat questions about certain pages, what they think. I've had people give me suggestions on storyline that I've actually that's helped with my building. So you not only get to watch the comic book process, but you can become involved with it. And at the end of the journey, you get a chance to pick up a comic book that you can say, I watched this person help with and I helped with, and I was part of this journey. So I'm trying to build a little community around where it's about the making of the comic book and being part of that process. And as of right now, I have 190 subs. I gained like 15 in the last 28 days. That's usually around where I'm sticking at. It's anywhere from 15 to 20. Every time I go back to the YouTube studio and check on subs, it's just consistently, slowly but steadily going up. And the more the better. And after I get done with the squirrels, it'll be on to Sig and Joe's second arc. I have a Santa Claus story and other stuff. So if you like comic books, you want to watch the process, hit me up at Lunchbox Comics on YouTube, and you'll be able to watch the whole process. And if you want to read any of them of my work, it's all on Global Comics and you can find that through my link tree. You can find my link tree through my YouTube and on my Facebook along those lines. You just put in Lunchbox Warren, you can find me on most places. So that's all the stuff coming up.
Yeah.
But make sure you guys join us next Friday for our top 5 remakes, and then we'll also have the schedule out for our next 4 shows. And until next time, my friends, as always, be good, stay safe, and God bless.